Good morning, everyone. I have with me here Andrea Moore. She is one of the founding owners of Pinnacle Veterinary Hospital, and I am looking forward to sharing with you an amazing veterinary clinic in our community. Also, in essence, a small business that is here to serve. And without further ado, Andrea, I'll let you introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about you.
Okay, I'm Andrea Moore, and I am in practice at Pinnacle Animal Hospital with my partner, Dr. Michelle Forgy. We have 5 other veterinarians that practice with us here. We opened up in 2012, and my main goal in opening my own veterinary practice was to create a workspace where people like to come to work. I've been practicing for 30 years, and during my tenure, not many people like to work at the veterinary practices that they were at. And my dream was to have a place where people love to come to work. So that was one goal with opening our practice. The second goal was creating a space where we felt comfortable working and felt comfortable inviting people in with their pets. And making them feel comfortable. Kind of a home away from home was sort of our idea. And so we started out with a couple of sort of values, being low stress handling with the pets and the owners, caregivers, and a feline friendly practice. Most practices do not separate out the cats from the dogs, and the kids are so scared when they come in and there's a dog sitting next to them panting or barking. It's quite frightening for them, and so we really wanted to make a space for the cats. So how we accommodate the cats is we have a separate cat opening, a separate kitty waiting room. We have a water feature that separates the kitty waiting room from the dog waiting room, that kind of tones down the panting. They have their own wing in our hospital. So we have 2 exam rooms that have never had a dog in them. So there's no dog smells at all. And we have a private kitty treatment room. So anything that they need to have done, injections, blood draws, any kind of treatments are done in the kitty treatment room. So they are never in the dog treatment room or anywhere exposed to dogs, which really has worked out well, I think. We really see the reduction in stress level, not having to communicate with dogs.
I think that's tremendous. One of the first veterinary practices that my husband and I went to when we were living in San Diego was specifically a cat only. Like they specialize specifically in cats. And I really appreciated that dimension of care. And a lot of times, in terms of space and ease, sometimes people's first pets may be a cat, like unless they're like not a cat person. My husband and I have enjoyed having both cats and dogs as pets in our home. But everything you just said completely resonates with our first experience and how much we value that. And so you're offering that in the context of cats, dogs, and then do you have other animal species that you guys will see in your practice?
Yep, we see pocket pets, mainly guinea pigs and hamsters, some rats, some reptiles, no birds because they sort of are a being of their own. So we do see a few of the pocket pets and the reptiles.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so in terms of, what you do in your practice, one of the things that struck me, the opportunity I had to go in was just what you said in terms of people enjoying to come to work. Your staff were just phenomenal, attentive. When I walked in the door, I was greeted. When I didn't know exactly what I was looking for, they offered suggestions, and then I realized, that one of them was what I was looking for. That whole process was totally in line with what you just said in terms of creating a space that people enjoy coming to work at, because it translates in terms of, you know, the exchange they have with the
Right.
public that you ultimately want to
Yeah.
serve. Yeah. Um, in terms of what you guys specialize in, what exactly can the public know about Pinnacle? And in terms of what you recommend as a part of owning a pet, the steps that they should consider, and where veterinary medicine falls in at the beginning, midlife, or end of life. What are some things that maybe you want people who haven't yet brought, you know, a pet in, or who are considering having a pet, understand about how veterinary care plays an important role there?
I think starting out at puppyhood, we definitely focus a lot on socialization, making that puppy and kitten very comfortable with many different things. You have a timeline from 8 to 16 weeks where
Mm.
kitten are much more responsive to new things, learning new things. They see it all as sort of fun. Um, and so we really focus on that because so many puppies and kittens end up not really socialized well, and that's why we see a lot of them end up in the shelters and the animal control situation, because they are great as puppies. Um, the owners aren't counseled well on what to do to make them comfortable out in the real world. And so when they get out there, they're very anxious. They tend to not be as fun of a pet as the owners would like. And so a lot of them are given up. We see many, many anxious animals, rescue animals, adoptees that do have a lot of anxiety problems from however they were brought up or whatever they were exposed to, and work a lot with those as well. So we have sort of quite a practice of dealing with behavior problems or anxiety problems. Really successful. We work really hard at helping the owners understand what's going on and understand how to help their pet become a much more comfortable, happier pet. We utilize just learning that we've had. We've worked with several behavior trainers at one specifically that we have come in every 3 to 4 months and reteach us or up to date us on new areas of behavior and, again, low stress handling. And then we also work with some behavior trainers in the area as well, so people can have resources at home.
That's awesome. So you guys, in your being proactive about making sure that the pets are happy, socialized early on, I think of the idea of like imprinting. And I never
Mm-hmm.
really thought of it in terms of each animal, even like maybe each breed of, you know, cat or dog
Mm-hmm.
has a specific window where that imprinting comes in. So when people get a pet, coming in immediately to their veterinarian, getting the general wellness, which we know is valuable, done, but then also understanding some of this other dimension so that their life with that pet can
Right.
be one that's enjoyable. Um, are there other resources? I love that you guys have coordinated and partnered with people specific to training you, but also being a resource to your clients. What other resources have Pinnacle partnered with in different areas of animal care that, you know, people can count on coming in and, you know, getting a referral out for?
We definitely have lots of specialists in the area. So if there's sort of need for specialty care, surgery, cancer, ophthalmology, skin, we have a good group of a couple of specialty practices that we refer to. I think nowadays the education and information on pets is so broad that really a general practitioner, you know, should embrace the specialty practices and for them for help and referral. I don't think we can really truly be successful at doing specialty work in the general practice anymore. It's like human medicine now. We know so much that it's great to partner with specialists in the area. We do have a cardiologist that will come in and do echocardiograms for us here in the office. We have a radiologist that comes in and will do ultrasounds for us. So we have a few people that will come directly to the office, but again, I think nowadays it's definitely beneficial to work in partnership with our specialty practices as well.
Well, I think that's something that's beautiful about Pinnacle. Like you said, you've been in practice for 20 years. And so those people have been partners and colleagues and, referral sources for you for some time. And so you've gotten a chance to like refer and see, the exchange and the
Right.
approach and whatnot. And I think that that's something that's really valuable that you offer the community is a long-standing presence in the community and really solid referrals when their pets need that specialty care.
Yeah.
Is there anything particular that you want the community to know right now that would be of help or resource to them?
We put out information on our Facebook page and our website regarding the COVID situation right now. We have not yet seen any pet to human transmission of the COVID, although we have seen there's been certainly a few dogs and a few cats around the world that have tested positive for COVID. They seem to be at this point, at least, a dead end source as far as being infectious to people. Definitely though, if there is COVID or coronavirus in the family, you want to certainly go to the CDC or the Santa Clara Public Health to look for how you work with your pet. They definitely recommend quarantining your pet from the person that's sick. The important thing is the pet can act as a fomite, which means they can take the virus from the sick person and carry it on them and potentially expose other people in the family or expose the veterinarian or friends that come over. So they actually will take the droplets onto their skin and fur and can carry it for a time, and then anybody that pets them or hugs them certainly can pick it up. So if we have an animal or a patient that's in a COVID family, we definitely speak with them first and figure out a strategy for helping that pet with whatever's going on versus just having them come on down. We need to protect ourselves as well as the family members.
So it sounds like there's possibly a bit of a screening process that you guys are doing right now before pet visits. And that's a tough one, but it's one that's really valuable that the community recognizes, because even on just a basic level, we want to make sure that other members of the family are safe, that the pets don't act as this transport. And that's a tough one. That's a really tough one, because I can think of countless times with both my cats or dogs when I wasn't feeling well. They know. They just sense it, and they want to be there to support us. It's part of that nurturing aspect that is so beautiful with our pets. And so even as human beings, I think that that's really helpful to us. It provides a healing component to us. And so with what we know,
it's a difficult time now when you can't, if you're sick and you can't have your pet companion with you, because it's so nice to have them laying at your feet or laying next to you on the bed, and they'll just stay there and be your nurse.
Totally.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I can remember countless times in the 14 years with our Labradors where if I was sick, my husband would make sure I was okay and that I had everything I needed. And then he would make sure that wherever, our female dog was, and she was a real loyal kind of side by side, one more than the male. And he would put her in a downstay next to me. And if I wasn't feeling where I needed him, I would just tell her to go get my husband.
Right.
And he would, and she would go get him, and he'd have treats, right? So like she knew that when she was sent, it was like immediately go.
Mhm.
And yeah, so then he would just, calmly come and find me wherever he was, even if that was outside, like he felt comfortable, if it was, the weekend. And
Right.
yeah, so that's tough, but I think that that's something that you guys can offer a lot of resources for. And so having people pick up the phone and call if they have any questions. I know that they're going to be calling staff and doctors who really care about the clients they serve, and that get good information. Well, great. Is there anything else you want the community to know about Pinnacle?
I think just that, our mantra is making the pets and their caregivers just feel so comfortable coming in, because it's such a worrisome time. If your pet is ill, you're very worried, and you want to feel comfortable that you're coming to a place that's going to treat them, with respect and kindness, versus, a place that may not. And that's what our goal is we want them to feel comfortable. And we do a lot of training of our staff to really be able to have them understand that and be able to do that. And so we really have worked very hard, and we're very proud of what we've built.
That's awesome. I think one of the most valuable things about the stories I've been able to offer and the conversations I've been able to have is to take people beyond the storefront sign that says the name of a business, take them inside the door and let them see that, this isn't just, a storefront and a title, right? That there's a person behind it, that there's an intention and a mission behind why that business got started. And this is a person who you may see, who may, take care of you in whatever capacity, whether it's a retail store or in your case, like a health related for animal entity, and that people can feel comfortable when a need arises to already kind of enter that practice, that business, because that's really, really valuable to our community. It's everything that makes our community beautiful. So yeah, I hope that people can come away from this conversation feeling like if they need it, they can walk right into Pinnacle and be cared for by people who love what they do, love working, and by compassionate and very highly trained doctors. So thank you very much, Andrea, for
You're welcome.
It's been a privilege to share Pinnacle with people through this story.
And I want to meet your kitty.
I know he needs to come in. In fact, I'm gonna pop out here, and in the spirit of this conversation, I'm gonna grab my cat. He's here. All right, everybody. This is my Maine Coon, Koa. He is just a little spitfire. He's all
a big
boy.
Guy.
Yeah, and he's fluff. He definitely is fluff. You can see definitely that mane and stuff. But yes, I have to bring him in.
The handsome boy.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Andrea.
All right,
it's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Yep.